Alrighty, welcome back, fellas. Earlier today, we got a major producer's letter as we get ready to leave the 10th anniversary. So today, I want to go ahead and break that producer's letter down, talk about the important information that came as a part of it, and talk about the information that came as a part of a data download that happened right after this, because there are so many cool things we can look forward to, including some new Daima-related content. You love to see it. I am very excited for this. I hope you guys are excited, and I hope you guys will enjoy the vid. If you do, you already know what to do. Of course, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below your thoughts. Let's go ahead and get started. So, with this producer letter, it's about 14 minutes. I actually made a separate post right here, by the way, which kind of talks about everything that we can recap here for the producer letter. So if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, because, I try to post information like this, so I'm not the best when it comes to that sort of stuff, but still, I try my best now and then. But when we look at the producer letter, right, so let me go ahead and actually mute this, just because we don't need to hear the volume and everything. So obviously they try to remind us about the campaign concept, remind us that we're getting an extra part coming soon, right, an EX part to the anniversary, which is very exciting in and of itself. And of course, in case you guys didn't see the producer letter, which I'm sure a lot of you already had, we got some new stages coming in the game, and we got a reveal on our next major premiere release character that we can look forward to seeing basically later tonight, about midnight or so in Eastern Standard Time. So we got some fun stuff, but obviously we got some new stages. So we're going to be getting one stage to the Red Zone Goku Story Edition and one stage to the Vegeta Story Edition right here. So these are going to be like our final kind of stages right here, I guess, for these things. And then also we're getting two more stages to the Battle Hardened Formidable Foes. So we have a lot of new content. Obviously, there's going to be more Dragon Stones that come as a part of it. Obviously, I believe you get 10 stones here for the Formidable Foes, because there's no type of category missions here. And then also you're getting probably like 5 stones here, 5 stones there, plus another kind of maybe challenge or something like category missions. So we'll see what they're going to give for missions and like Dragon Stones and everything. But obviously some new content, some new hard content, so that is going to be very exciting for sure. So it's going to be a fun time. They do talk about this as well. So this is a new type of event that we've never seen before, really, but it's going to be like challenging the limits. It's called Festival of Battles. So what they're saying is you can get up to 25 Dragon Stones by clearing up to round 25 out of 50. So the first 25 rounds, when you beat them, you can get 25 Dragon Stones. So that's going to be awesome. Obviously, within here, you can see you can get some unique titles and a wallpaper. So that's going to be very awesome right there. I think we already saw what the wallpaper can be through the data download, so we'll try to find that if we can. But this is going to be exciting. And they actually said this is going to be the hardest battle in Dokkan Battle history, like the second half of this, right? Round like 26 to 50. So what I'm kind of curious to see is how exactly is this going to work? Is this going to be like a boss rush? Is this just going to be a sequential kind of like 1 phase, 2 phase, 3 phase, cha-cha-cha type of thing? Like, I don't know. But if they're saying that this is going to be the hardest fight in Dokkan history, I am kind of scared. Like, I'm actually kind of nervous. They say only a handful of the most skilled players, which also could probably say some of the most whales, right? But, only a handful can be able to clear all the rounds. So I would like to think I'm skilled. I would like to think I know what I'm able to do, but at the same time, like, this is going to be a challenge. I'm very excited for this. It says it should start on March 12th, so I think it's going to be coming a bit later. Obviously, like, right now we're like March 3rd, right? So it's going to be taking like a week or so before we can see that, so that'll be kind of interesting right there. But at the same time, I'm excited for this one. This one's going to be very excited. I'm curious to see what the titles can be, because that can be very pretty fun, but yeah, I hope they continue to make hard content, because hard content is challenging. It motivates people to keep trying. Obviously, we have a lot of powerful units, so if we need to figure out how to make those powerful units work in a difficult fight, that is going to be exciting. So a bunch of fun stuff there, but we keep on going. So let me just see right here. So obviously, we kind of got a bit of a spoiler. They added 2 new slots to the Dragon Ball GT roadmap. So obviously, this is the roadmap we had before with the 10th anniversary characters, the Easy A's, Super Easy A's, all the new releases and everything, the free-to-play characters. So this is what we had. But, obviously, we were kind of like, okay, what's going to happen for the EX part? One thing is 2 new Easy A's, right? So obviously, you already saw who they were, but we got the Easy A's confirmed for the physical Super Saiyan GT Goku right here and the Int Super Saiyan Vegeta. So we got the Easy A's, we got the kit details. We'll look at them in just a sec, but yeah, getting those Easy A's, it is very exciting because of one major thing for us, which is that they are a part of GT, which obviously GT fans are eating good, but also they're technically a part of Giant Ape Power, where technically there is a 6th anniversary LR who leads that category in the AGL Super Saiyan 3 into Super Saiyan 4 GT Goku. So it's all kind of feeding into itself, if we will. But with Super Saiyan Goku, so we talk about him, right? We'll look at his kit and everything. 4 super attack effects, so he's able to greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, cause immense damage, and massively lower defense. So he's able to debuff with his super attack effect there. That's going to be pretty good, of course. With his passive skill, back in the day, if you guys remember, Goku was kind of like a nuker type of character, where the more orbs he got, the more damage he could put out. So that was like a big value about him. But when we look at the passive, right, so 250 to attack and defense, that's pretty solid. Randomly changes key phrase of a certain type to Rainbow Orb, so that'll help him, of course, and as well as other characters like the AGL Gogeta and such. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack plus 30%, defense plus 20%, and a chance to perform a crit increases by 10% per key sphere obtained. So first you have to get this 12 or more key condition met, and then per key keys are obtained, you're getting these kind of buffs. So still kind of feeding into his nuclear aspect, but also allowing him to further boost his crit chance and defense, which is really, really good. So that's gonna be nice there. When you get 3 or more key spheres, then your attacks will be effective against all types. With 5 or more orbs, you'll launch an additional guaranteed super, so more debuffing and boosting attack and defense in a turn. And then per GT Heroes or Giant 8 Power ally attacking in the same turn, depending on which categories more members other than himself, he will be boosting his defense by 77% and boosting his damage reduction by 20%. So basically, what does this mean? Well, at best, right, if you're getting 2 Giant 8 Power allies or 2 GT Hero allies alongside GT Goku in the turn, you're getting 154% defensive boost to Goku himself, and you're getting 40% damage reduction to Goku on top of that. So that's pretty good right there. I'm excited to see what he can do. I think he's going to be a slot 2 character. I think we're going to all pretty much see that. But I think between this kind of defensive buff right here, between all the nuking and everything he can do with his orbs right here, I think Goku can be a very powerful slot 2 character. I don't think slot 1 is where you're going to want to put him. Maybe you could try him in slot 1, maybe you could take a chance, but he doesn't have guard, you know, he only has 40% damage reduction, so, you know, those things do kind of concern me. Maybe he can make it out, but I don't know for sure. Alright, for the first turn from when he shows up, right, so the first turn, he will launch an additional guaranteed super off rip, and when activating his active, right, his active skill and the conditions and everything have not changed. When activating the active, attack plus 350% and performs a guaranteed crit temporarily. So yeah, some good stuff for Goku right there. Nothing else has changed. His leader skill did get buffed, right? So we'll talk about the leader skill, but basically it's a 170% leader buff for GT Goku with his lead, so that's going to be there. For Vegeta, so in Vegeta right here, greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage, and massively lowers defense. So basically the same thing as GT Goku right there, but the passive skill is going to be different. So on release, let me go ahead and pause that. On release, Vegeta was considered the better character of the two between him and GT Goku, even though GT Goku was more gimmicky for nuking type of fights, like the punching bag stuff. But let's see here. So, attack and defense plus 250%, randomly changes orbs of a certain type to rainbow key spheres, so basically the same setup as GT Goku. When attacking with 12 more ki, attack plus 20% and defense plus 30%, and damage reduction rate increases by 30% by 3% per key sphere obtained. So, already off rip, we see Vegeta is more defined and more designed to be a defensive related character, boosting the damage reduction, boosting the defensive percentage. That is pretty good. Now, this is not the best type of percentage per key sphere obtained, right? But at the same time, you know, assuming you get like 9 orbs on average, right? That's like 27% to his damage reduction boosting, plus all the defensive boosting right there. So he should, in theory, be pretty good. With 3 or more key spheres, he's guarding all attacks, so that's going to be very helpful. 5 or more orbs, launching additional guaranteed super per GT Heroes or Giant 8 Power ally in the same turn, just like the same thing condition-wise as a GT Goku other than himself. Attack plus 77% up to 154%, right, if you have 2 other allies who fit these kind of categories, or, but also on top of that, chance of boosting a crit chance by 30%, so that can be 60% crit chance right there. So I do like what Vegeta has to offer more. I understand that some people seem to be a bit concerned about his EZA, but I think Vegeta will be better than GT Goku. I think GT Goku will be fine as well, but I think Vegeta will be the better of the two in that sort of regard. For the first turn, you know, launch additional guaranteed super, and with the active, attack plus 350% temporarily. So pretty much straightforward stuff right there. But then, you know, we keep on going, and I believe the next thing they kind of mention right here is the release of the Daima related content. So obviously, you know, we were wondering what's going to be happening for the EX part. What we basically got was all of this. Actually, let me go ahead and play the graphic here, because the graphic is really special, and I think in that sort of regard. So obviously, they got the whole kind of a graphic coming together, you know, all the pieces. Obviously, they start off with the anniversary characters, all the sort of stuff. I think they did this in order, by the way, in terms of when they released everything. So that's actually a really dope kind of an extra bit of effort, in my opinion. So I do appreciate that. But there we go. So that is the roadmap of the 10th anniversary. And bam, now Daima is a part of that. So guys, we are getting Daima. I can't play the song. I just realized I forgot this is licensed. I can't play this. So hopefully I will not get copywritten for like 1 second of that. But basically, look at what we got here. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta-sama. He is going to be coming as our next premiere release. He's a Dokkan Fest TUR. He's got insane animations. But I mean, look at what he's got right there. And bam, you see right there, all 5 now technically a part of the 10th anniversary. Obviously, OG Dragon Ball only got the 1 free-to-play character. Daima, it seems like you're only getting the 1 premiere release, but it is what it is. Every part of Dragon Ball, like the major shows, have been incorporated. So we love to see that. That is actually a nice touch. I'm glad they did this. I know some people were speculating maybe they'll do it, maybe they won't. But the fact they did it, I am really glad they did, because we know Daima has some really beautiful stuff to look forward to for like Dokkan. So we already got one of those big things with Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. But let's go ahead and talk about Vegeta, right? So Vegeta, I'll just go through this myself. So he's a physical type unit, right? Super Fizz. He's a TUR, of course, you know, a premium like a Dokkan Fest TUR. So typical stuff right there. Starts off as Super Saiyan 3, so he's not going to be in like, you know, I guess like Super Saiyan 2 or that sort of category, but he is on the Super Saiyan 3 category, so that's gonna be exciting. I think his categories are right up next, so let's go ahead and look at them. So Transformation Boost, Gifted Wars, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 3, Pure Saiyans, Dragon Ball Seekers, which is nice, Time Travelers, Vegeta's Family, Worthy Rivals, Mastered Evolution, Accelerated Battle, Bond of Parent and Child, Successors, and Full Power. So he's on some really good categories. Let me do the math here, right? So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 categories. So not the most categorically diverse character. However, he's on some really powerful categories, and he just so happens to fit into the full lead of the AGL 10th Anniversary Gogeta because he's on Pure Saiyan, so Pure Saiyan is part of that base leader skill. He's also technically on Successors, so there's that as well. But on top of that, he's in Gifted Wars, and if you guys remember, the 10th Anniversary Gogeta gives the extra 50% for characters in Gifted Wars or Fusion. So Vegeta getting that full buff, that is something I love to see. I'm actually very excited for Vegeta just to pull him. I know there is a lot of flack about Vegeta in terms of his performance. Maybe you guys already have known this by the time you're watching the vid. But for me personally, I want to see how he performs in-game myself, and I think there are certain situations where he may be a bit better than other situations in fights, so we'll have to see, of course, but I really want to get him. I want to see what he can do and try him out. So that's what I'll say there with the leader skill. So he's leading Transformation Boost or Gifted Warriors, Ki +3, HP +200%, Attack and Defense +170%, and the extra 50% for characters in Power Beyond Super Saiyan. So he is now our first official Dokkan Fest lead with this new leader skill type of setup here. But yeah, this is going to be the future, guys. So look forward to that, of course. You know, I do like this leader skill design. It's basically the same thing as like the category leads before, but just with better stats and everything, and I just like it. So there's that. Transformation Boost and Gifted Wars, by the way, those are some really good categories, like, combined. So Vegeta has a pretty decent leader skill, in my opinion, with that 50% for Power Beyond Super Saiyan. I think it's going to be pretty good right there. But let's keep going. So I believe the next thing we have to see is his super attack. So yeah, there you go. So his super attack effect, right, raises attack and defense by 33% for 3 turns and causes immense damage to the enemy. Raises allies' defense by 33% for 1 turn other than himself. So he is supporting his allies technically, but also he's mainly focused on himself. So it kind of makes sense, but I mean, I like it. I think it's a pretty decent super attack effect. With the passive skills, so we'll see right here, he has an intro animation about the character's entry. I'll look at the animations in just a sec. I have that pulled up in another tab. Chance of performing a crit, though, and damage reduction rate increases by 20% and foresees an enemy's super for 1 turn. So for the first turn, he's got a booster's damage reduction, booster's crit chance, and a scouter. But once that first turn passes, this intro buff is gone. So bear that in mind. 200% to attack and defense, and Ki +3 for the basic effect. 50% damage reduction flat out, which is nice. As the first slot unit in a turn, 20% damage reduction on top of that. As the first or second slot unit, attack +50%, and a chance to perform a crit +30%. When attacking, attack +200%. When receiving an attack, defense +200%. When receiving an attack, launches additional guaranteed super, and when receiving a super, launches additional guaranteed super as well. So this is Vegeta's passive. It seems kind of simple, but at the same time, I think it is actually well designed in terms of what it's meant to be, which clearly Vegeta is meant to be a slot 1 character, right? You know, 50% damage reduction plus a 20% right there. So that's 70% damage reduction in slot 1, up to 90% for that first turn. So that's gonna be good right there. He is able to boost his defense when receiving an attack, so you have to receive the attack and everything, so it can be kind of treacherous for that first attack, perhaps. But at the same time, you know, in theory, Vegeta should be able to tank pretty well for a lot of situations. I think he's going to be really good, especially for things like battle-hardened formidable foes, which, you know, again, we're getting some new stages for that. So I think Vegeta will be a great asset there. And also, I mean, this is really cool, right? Is that when receiving a super and when receiving an attack in general, right? You know, he is able to get additional supers, right? So going back to those additional supers, they're able to provide further defensive support for his allies, and they'll boost his stats for 3 turns. So he will be in a sense of like, he'll be in like a perpetual loop, if you will, where every other turn he shows up, right? Every rotation, he'll be able to kind of re-amp his stats, if you will. So I think that's going to be a very exciting thing for him. But yeah, I mean, he's got some good stuff. He still has an active skill, by the way, so let me go ahead and find that active if I can. It should be somewhere down there. There we go. So active skill, a Gallic Gun. So can be activated after performing 5 or more supers in battle, which I believe is a similar condition to the AGL full power, not full power, but the AGL Dirty Fireworks Vegeta. But basically, you know, with the active skill, right, greatly raises attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage, and attack plus 33% for 1 turn. So this is kind of similar to like the physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, where you do the active, you do the damage, and then you're boosting his attack within the turn to see some better damage output in the turn itself. So he may be able to do some good damage in that sort of turn, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. If anything, I think Vegeta is more so meant for a defensive kind of position in slot 1, and as you see right here, his Dokkan Fest is going to include the 2 diamond characters. So first of all, anyone who spent the Memorial Stone on the diamond characters, I do apologize for you guys because you guys did get kind of screwed. But, you know, I will say also, as someone who was considering it myself, I am kind of glad I did not, because now we got them already back. I don't even think it's been like maybe 3 months since they were released, right? They were like the New Year's banners, and now it's like, you know, beginning of March, so maybe like 3 months at best. But yeah, they're back already, and it's so exciting for sure. We don't know what the full banner has to offer, but my assumption is that it's going to include the GT Super Saiyans. It's going to include like a bunch of other characters like them who fit into these categories, so I think that's what we can expect. But that's going to be exciting. Also worth mentioning, so this is not going to be like the 10th anniversary banner. So this is like our typical Dokkan Fest banner with the pity and everything. So 200 pity coins right there for Vegeta. So, you know, 200 coins. Also, after performing 2 multis, you're able to do 1 multi for a featured SSR for 7 rounds. So how does this work? Well, basically, unless we're getting a discount, which I don't think is going to be the case, it's going to be 2 50 multi-summons, right? You know, 50 stones for a multi, right? And the first 2 multis are just regular multis. The third multi is also going to cost 50 stones, but that one will give you a guaranteed featured SSR, whoever that may be. And then it resets to 2 plain 50s and then 1 special featured 50 after that, right? So that's going to be how it is for 7 rounds. After that, then it's going to just be a plain old Dokkan Fest banner with regular multis. So that's just how it is. But yeah, the banner is very interesting, very exciting. I'm definitely going to be summoning on it, probably just 1 rotation. But also, this is important. We got the Super EZA for Super Saiyan 3 STR Vegeta. One of the older Dokkan Fest, of course. You know, a lot of people were excited for his Super EZA because back in the day, this guy was one of the tanks in Dokkan. This was an insane character for a lot of content. And to see him get a Super EZA, a lot of people were excited for this, understandably. But yeah, there was a lot of great stuff to talk about. So alright, sorry about that, fellas. A bit of the recording got a bit messed up there. But anyway, so we got through the producer letter. Obviously, this is kind of recapping what I already mentioned here. So we got, you know, some added stages, the EZAs and everything, the new Diamond Vegeta and everything. So obviously a bunch of cool stuff. I do want to go ahead and look at the kits and everything. So obviously we have the kits pulled up here. Let me just go ahead and look at the Super Saiyan, or the Super EZA for Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, because this is the one character I didn't really get to talk about because they didn't have his kit up at the time. But when we translate it, right, so again, with the Super EZA, his leader skill is going to be the same, so this is not changing. This is not that great of a leader skill. His super attack effect is not going to change, so just doing damage and a high chance to stun, so that is what it is. But the passive skill, that is important. So with the basic effect, Ki +3 and attack and defense plus 200%. When attacking with Ki at 12 or more, attack plus 200% and defense plus 100% right there. For the first 10 turns, right, he has defense plus 150%. Again, a high chance to do a crit, which is like a 50% chance right there. And damage reduction increases by 80%. So kind of feeding into his tank ability right there. From the 11th turn onwards, right, he has 50% damage reduction in general. When facing an opponent or attacking an opponent who is stunned, he has a guaranteed crit and he has a boost to his attack by 200%. And when there's a super class enemy, attacks will be guaranteed. He'll get an additional attack guaranteed with a high chance for it to become a super. And when there's an extreme enemy, he will get an additional super attack guaranteed. So just some nice stuff right there. Nothing too crazy, I will say. I don't think Vegeta's Super EZA is going to be the best in the game. I'm welcome to be wrong in that sort of regard, but I don't think it's going to be the best in the game. And one of the things that does bother me about this one the most is the fact that he isn't able to provide support to his allies. I mean, a lot of the great Super EZAs that we have in the game right now, one way or another, they're able to provide some form of support, whether that be key or attack or defensive stats to super class or extreme class allies or both. And Vegeta's not doing any of that. So I understand as a tank, he's fantastic right now. He's actually so much better in terms of the defensive boosting and everything. However, I still wish they had some sort of support. So not having that does suck for real. I am a bit disappointed in that. However, I think Vegeta's still going to be an elite character. He doesn't fit onto most categories, right? He's only on a few, right? But, you know, Super Saiyan 3 is good to have him there. Pure Saiyans, Vegeta's family, Gifted Warrior successors. He will get the full lead for the age-old Gogeta right there. He's on crossover, technically. He's on Worthy Rivals, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, Bond of Parent and Child. So he's on some good stuff. He can link with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so you love to see that. So he's got some good things going for him. But yeah, I mean, as far as the kits and everything, you know, going back to like Dokkan Info and whatever, like, I know some people are kind of concerned about Vegeta's output based on showcase vids and everything. I think Super EZA Vegeta is going to be good right here. I think GT Goku is going to be a bit weaker than GT Vegeta. Both, I've seen some people are saying like they're concerned about both of them. But me personally, I came into this knowing that regardless of what we got for the EX part, whoever our next major EZAs were going to be in the next release, they were going to be kind of screwed because they're coming off of the 10th anniversary. And technically, this is still part of the 10th anniversary, but now we're coming on to the tail end of it, right? So obviously, the hype, it's coming down from the 7th year EZAs, from the 10th anniversary LRs and everything. So those things I kind of understood. But still, this is a very good set in my opinion. I'm really happy with all of the characters. I think all of them will be pretty decent at the very minimum. So that is what I would think. I think that is the point that we should ask for, is for them to be decent at bare minimum and good at like on average, right? So I'm pretty fine with that in that sort of regard. We keep on talking, right? So we of course have the stats and everything. Let me go ahead and check out these animations before I forget, because I want to make sure to show love to Vegeta and his animations. So let's see them right here. I have not heard the OSTs, by the way. This is insane, of course. The quality with Daima, Goku, and Glory was insane. I'm curious to see what they got here. Look at that. That is insane. This OST, the intro OST, is a banger. I can already tell. This got Vegeta energy written all over it. That kick, look at the water. Wow, that water. I'm a big sucker for water effects when they're done really well. This showcases how it's done. He's still going, by the way. He's still doing a flip kick like it's nothing. Oh, man. That's perfect. Now we got the active. All right, nice Gallic gun right here. That frame is crazy right there. The frame with just the outline of Vegeta behind his Gallic gun. Do we get a KO screen? We don't get a KO screen, okay. But I will say the intro OST is pretty fire. I just did a ranking on like my 10th anniversary OST, so technically this probably should have been a part of that. But I do like the intro OST. I think it's got some nice Vegeta energy to it. This shot right here is badass. This is insane. I like what they did with the water effects too. Again, I'm a big sucker for water effects when it can look like this. Come on, like that is insane. This whole sequence is so fire. So I do like that. The Gallic gun, I think it could have been overall a bit better. Maybe just add a bit more to it. I'm a big fan of this shot right here as it kind of flashes right there and all that. But you know, the biggest thing for me as far as like this active, like the best part about it is this right here. This is a hard part about this active. Like it's so badass with the outline and everything. That is sick. So I do love that. But yeah, Vegeta's animations, you know, not too bad considering this is our first Dokkan Fest TOR of 2025. I think the standard is pretty decent. It's not the best animations, I guess, but it's still really good in my opinion. Now, obviously, for a Daima character, you know, if we look at what Daima has to offer, we still know what Daima has in its bag. Like, there's some crazy stuff that we can look forward to, but Daima in general has always been pretty good about animation quality in my opinion, so I think, you know, with that kind of as a reference, this should have been pretty good, and it is pretty good in my opinion, so I'm pretty happy about that. Other than that, we have some other kind of stuff here. So, of course, Proton 10MG and Air Dokkan covered some stuff for, like, the data download and everything. So, first of all, looking at Proton, shout out to Proton 10MG again, a GOAT when it comes to this sort of stuff. So we did get the movie for like the Part 3 EX movie kind of thing for the 10th anniversary. This is on the JP side. The global data download hasn't happened yet when I'm recording this, but it probably will happen by the time I upload this. We do, of course, get the information on Daima Vegeta, of course. We're getting a new stage for Dragon Ball Daima with that story mode. We're getting a new Dokkan event for Vegeta, of course. New stages for the Goku and Vegeta Red Zone stages right there. A new EZA battle. So we're going to get the GT Goku and the GT Vegeta EZA medals coming together on the same EZA battle right there for Destined Rival. So there's that. And we're getting the Super EZA battle for Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. So all this sort of stuff right there. There's the movie. There's a Vegeta right there. Some new bosses. Some other stuff right there. Of course, you know, category bonus drop for Daima for the Daima story event for Dragon Ball Seeker. So all the same stuff right there. The Dokkan event. So that's going to be for Vegeta. A new kind of background too, I believe, which is actually pretty sick. And also, so we see the like the red zone stages where they're going to focus on, right? So for Goku, he's going to be focusing on beating Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and for Vegeta, he's going to be fighting Super Saiyan Blue Goku, right? So it kind of makes sense, obviously, Goku's story, Vegeta's story. If we remember Tournament of Power at the end of it, right? Obviously, the final episode, they ended it with the two of them on the classic mountaintops, doing their, you know, classic poses, going at each other again. So I guess in that sort of regard, that's what this is meant to be. It's like basically like, you know, tying the bow, if you will, but I'm fine with that. We don't know what this is going to be yet, but it seems like it's going to be for the new challenge event, so there's that, of course, for the EZA battle. So bear this in mind, guys. The two, again, their medals are going to be together on the same EZA battle, but their weakness is against power absorption. So power absorption, that is going to include... Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull a power absorption right now, but power absorption is going to be including characters like Boo, for example, right? So Boo is going to be a part of that. So, of course, you have like Boo tanks right here, Boo Han, you know, Super Boos, you know, all sorts of characters like them, the In Boo right there. So, you know, you want to make sure to look at those type of characters. Obviously, I don't believe Kid Boo is technically a part of this because he wasn't absorbing anyone. He was just a pure form of Boo right there, right? But like, you know, the Tech Boo right there is good. Boo Han is going to be fantastic for this, of course. So, you know, make sure to take advantage of this. This should be easy. But still, you know, just bear that in mind. Of course, we have that coming for us. And then also, I mean, we got the medals and everything. We got the category weakness for the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, so that's going to be Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan 3, I mean, if I want to go ahead and look at that, there should be some really strong characters in that category as well, as far as EZAs are concerned, right? Because it's a Super EZA battle, but... You know, like, the Dragon Fist Goku right here, I think he's going to be pretty important. The physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku is going to be great. In Goku, I imagine he'll be very good. So these are the characters you want to kind of keep an eye on for. You can try to use other characters like the AGL Goku right here, like both AGL Goku's Gotenks, but I doubt they're going to be as powerful, so you may want to consider that. You probably will want to take the In Super Saiyan 2 Goku for the lead, because he's the better character of all these three leaders, and he still has the EZA and everything, so I think that is going to be what you want to do. But yeah, I mean, just bear that in mind. You know, there's all sorts of stuff. We're getting some memory enhancements for the special kind of memories we got from, like, the Red Zone stages, right? So this will be a nice kind of extra boost for Power Beyond Super Saiyan right here with this support memory, and for Bond and Master and Disciple for this support memory. So all some good stuff right there. So nothing too crazy. We got a special wallpaper, which JP already has out. So this is basically an animated wallpaper. I can't describe it here because it's obviously not playing it, but basically it's going, like, showing Goku with all the forms, you know, going from, like, base, like in OG Dragon Ball, all the way to MEY. So it's all some good stuff right there. It's really sick. But we got that. We got a special kind of Daima wallpaper to look forward to, so that's going to be fun. Again, the pity coins right there. So, you know, just some plain old stuff. We got the idle animation for Vegeta, which is actually pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. I like the way his aura is kind of moving there with the electricity kind of going. I really do like that. That's actually a nice kind of thing right there. And then, of course, we're going to get some other background music. I believe we're going to actually have Daima's theme playing, you know, Jaka-Jan. I think we're going to be having that playing, so that's going to be really awesome. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much for me to say. For Dokkan, you know, another GOAT when it comes to, like, all the, like, data download information. He was kind of like mentioning some of the similar stuff, obviously, you know, the kit details and everything, so this is where I got the stuff from. He showed what Proton showed, which is the stats for the EZA, so some cool stuff right there. But the last thing he kind of mentioned, which I want to kind of touch on, is why people say, you know, Vegeta is mid. So that is kind of interesting. Also, I forgot about this. We actually got a new change. I completely forgot about this. We're getting all Dokkan events and EZAs released before this last Worldwide Celebration campaign permanently available. So this doesn't really matter for old players, but for new players, this is very clutch because now you don't have to wait for a big celebration. Now you can just farm Dragon Stones when you want, so that's going to be very helpful. So all sorts of good stuff there. But yeah, this is what I want to touch on. So, you know, people were saying like Vegeta is mid, looking at his showcase details and everything, saying he's not that good. Me personally, again, I want to see what Vegeta can do in-game before I make any sort of judgment. However, if Vegeta is mid, I am kind of annoyed because it's a Diamond character, but at the same time, I would not be surprised in the sense that I'm like, you know what, in my mind, before we knew Diamond Vegeta was going to be this unit, I was thinking whoever this next Dokkan Fest is going to be before Saiyan Day, he's not going to be that great most likely, right? But, you know, if Daima Vegeta is not that great, I will be kind of annoyed because it is Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Obviously, we still have a lot of other Daima content that is probably a bit more hype, per se, that we can look forward to, but yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But there you go. So that is all the information we got from the data download from the producer letter. Again, to recap, basically we're getting 2 new stages, right? 1 for each of the 2 red zone stages, 2 stages for battle hard and formidable foes. We're getting the official EZAs for GT Goku and GT Vegeta, the SEZA for Super Saiyan 3 STR Vegeta. We're getting a new difficult challenge event for Part 3, which can give us up to 25 Dragon Stones, and we're getting the new physical Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta. Now, when can these characters drop? Before I forget about that, we have the schedule right here. For Daima Vegeta, he'll be dropping right now in about 10 hours or so. So basically 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 a.m. right midnight on Eastern Standard Time tonight. So look forward to that. And for the other characters, right, the EZAs and the Super EZA, they will all drop together at 3, like, or, not, I was gonna say 3-5, but like March 5th at midnight on Eastern Standard Time. So look forward to that as well. Basically 2 days from now, right? So that is going to be fun, of course. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time for sure. I'm actually very excited to see what's going to happen with all these characters, especially as we go into the Saiyan Day celebration, because that is about 15 days away from now. And obviously, you know, with Vegeta here, now the question is who is going to be our Saiyan Day character, because a lot of people thought Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta was going to be that guy, and now clearly he is not. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen, but it's going to be a very exciting thing for sure. And anyways, that's going to be where we wrap things up. Again, hopefully you guys will enjoy the vid. If you did enjoy the vid, be sure to drop a like, you know, support the channel, subscribe to the channel, comment down below your thoughts. Let me know what do you guys think about the new Daima Vegeta, the new EZAs, and the Super EZA for Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.